After making it through the victory road, there was only one thing standing between us and becoming the champion, the Elite Four. But before we could enter, the man challenged us one more time. We loaded Magnezone against a Staraptor. It immediately went for close combat, bringing us low and popping our Citrus Berry, but a discharge got the Oko. Rapidash came out next. I pivoted into Floatzel, who tanked a Fire Blast and hit back with Surf. After getting burned by Will-O-Wisp, Aqua Jet finished the job. Roserade comes in next, and Infernape handled it easily with Flamethrower. Then came Empoleon, and this is where things went wrong. I switched into Luxray, who tanked a Brine and hit back with Spark, bringing it low, but another Brine finished off Luxray. A 5th death of the run, and right before the Elite Four. I brought in Staraptor, who cleaned up Empoleon with an Aerial Ace. Heracross comes out next, and a critical Aerial Ace gets the Oko. Last was Snorlax. 2 close combats with Staraptor finished the battle, and just like that, the man was finally defeated. But before taking on the Elite Four, we still had some final prep to do. We evolved Bronzor into Bronzong, and we headed back to Wayward Cave to grab the TM for Earthquake, and I taught it to Garchomp. East of Celestic Town, I found a Shiny Stone, and finally evolved Roselia into Roserade. Then we flew back to Veilstone and stocked up on everything we could possibly need. Fire Blast for Infernape, Reflect, Light Screen, Protect. We bought vitamins to finish the team's EVs, picked up an extra belt south of Twin Leaf Town, grabbed the Mystic Water in Pastoria, and taught U-Turn to Infernape. In Mount Cornet, I also grabbed the Soft Sand for Garchomp, and after all the prep, it was finally time. The first member of the Elite Four was Aaron. I led with Infernape, who immediately took out Yanmega with Flamethrower. Drapion came out next, and actually put up a fight, bringing Infernape into the red, before another Flamethrower finally knocked it out. Heracross, Vespiquen, and Scizor all went down after that, and just like that, Aaron was defeated. Next was Bertha. We led Bronzong against Whiscash, setting up Reflect and Light Screen while barely surviving repeated Aqua Tails. Eventually, I pivoted into Floatzel, who carried the rest of the fight. Gliscor, Golem, Rhyperior, and Hippowdon all went down to Floatzel, but not without some scary moments in between. Sandstorm chip damage did add up quite fast. The third member was Flint, and honestly, Floatzel completely took over the fight. Houndoom went down to Waterfall, Infernape went down to Waterfall. Rapidash tried setting up Solar Beam, but Aqua Jet cleaned it up. Magmortar fell to another Waterfall, and Flareon was the last thing standing. Even after Will-O-Wisp cut our attack, Floatzel still finished the fight. And then came Lucian. Floatzel opened the battle up by knocking out Mr. Mime and Alakazam with Crunch. Gallade forced me to pivot to Staraptor, who tanked a Leaf Blade and got the KO with Fly. Espeon went down to Garchomp's Earthquake, and a Bronzong eventually finished off by Infernape after a long back-and-forth fight. And just like that, we made it all the way to Cynthia. This was it. Cynthia led with Spiritomb, while I led with Bronzong. I immediately set up Light Screen as Spiritomb started firing off Dark Pulses and Shadow Balls. Bronzong barely held on long enough to set up another Stealth Rock before I pivoted to Floatzel. After taking multiple hits, Floatzel finally broke through and knocked out Spiritomb with Waterfall. Next was Roserade. I switched into Magnezone expecting Sludge Bomb, and Cynthia immediately pivoted to Garchomp. I brought in Staraptor expecting an Earthquake, and then switched again into my own Garchomp, which was probably the scariest part of this run so far. A Dragon Claw brought Cynthia's Garchomp low and popped its Citrus Berry, and then Dragon Rush missed. Another Dragon Claw finally gets the KO. After that, my Lotta came out. Bronzong set up another Reflect and Light Screen before switching into Magnezone, who landed a Thunderbolt KO. Lucario was next, and Infernape handled it with Flamethrower after taking an Aura Sphere. Togekiss came out after that, and I used U-Turn into Magnezone, who survived Air Slash and an Aura Sphere before landing the final Thunderbolt for that KO. And finally, Roserade. It landed one last Energy Ball, but Magnezone held on and Thunderbolt finished the fight. And just like that, after everything we went through, we have beaten Pokémon Platinum Nuzlocke. 10 episodes ago, we started this run with Chimchar, and honestly, I didn't know how long it would take or if we would finished it. We lost Bidoof in the first gym, Psyduck to Confusion, Machamp to a random battle, Medicham at Spear Pillar, and Luxray right before the E4. There were so many fights that I could have ended this run, and somehow we made it. I'm glad I did this in an episode format, and I'm planning to continue doing it. Gen 4 is complete, Gen 5 I've already done, so now I'm ready and setting up for Pokemon X and Y Nuzlocke. Thanks for watching, stay tuned.